me why you've been staying out late when I'm all alone. 'Cause I'm lonely in touch with my feelings, but not when you're down. Why won't you just stay? For a moment I don't want to be this way. Tell me why you've been staying up late when I'm all alone. 'Cause I'm lonely in touch with my feelings, but not when you're down.
Hey everybody! Hang on. Sorry, microphone noise. All right. I actually ended up having enough time to get on today. I thought I was gonna miss today, but I actually didn't. So, very good. So today, we're gonna continue our bubblegum tank. We're gonna keep doing some weathering on here, but actually we're gonna start working on the actual gun part because I want it to have some more contrast so that we can basically make the kind of the girliness pop more so that it looks a little bit more convincing. But we're gonna do a few techniques today. We're gonna do weathering on metal, on like a metallic metal, and then we're gonna do dry brushing to give it the highlights because I don't want to do edge highlighting on the large gun portion because that's gonna be, one, it's gonna take too long, but also I wanna show you how to do edge highlighting properly, or at least to the best of my ability. But yeah, I want to make sure that we show a few more techniques on stream. So let's do the gun today. So let me change to the paint cam. Okay. Let me zoom out here. Okay. So for the color, we're gonna go with the same color that we're using for the treads, a super, super dark gunmetal gray. Because I want it to, one, have the same sort of tone, but this is dark enough to where it's gonna look convincing when we do the dry brushing with the lighter metal. Okay. Let's get a big, something that I'm really loving about this particular model that I haven't gotten to experience with really anything else, because this is the biggest model that I've ever done, is the fact that I get to use giant brushes. This is the 4 is the biggest brush that I've gotten to use ever, and it's been really really refreshing. You just get to cover a lot, and it makes things pretty easy. Let's keep going. Zoom in a little bit here. So thankfully, Vallejo paints are very opaque right out of the pot. It's going to take maybe only 2 coats to cover this thing, even though it was pink. So it's not going to be too difficult to do. Sometimes you run into the problem where you try to do a metallic over a bright color, and you have to do 3-4 coats. But with this one, not so bad. And real easy. The thing that we want to be careful of here is that because of the fluidity of this particular paint, it's pretty watery if you're using a Vallejo. It depends on the paint brand that you're using. So if you accidentally flick, so when I push the brush down here, it wants to flick off because it's pretty springy. And this is also the nature of the brush, but it's pretty springy. So if you point it towards the panels that you already painted, like the pink, you may get little flecks on that, which we don't want because it's pretty tough to fix, especially because we airbrushed this side. I mean, you can fix it if you needed to. It's pretty. It's just that the shade of pink is unique to the fact that it was airbrushed, so the evenness of the tone, not necessarily the actual shade itself, but the evenness of it, like the non-bumpiness of it. Because sometimes you look at paint and it has different textures, and that's typically because if you do an airbrush, it's going to be even all around because it's covering uniformly. But if you use a brush, it's a little bit different. If it's a more thick paint, especially when you use those. And the Army Painter Princess Pink that we used for this is just like all the other contrast paints for Army Painter that I've found. It's behaves like a contrast paint, but it's almost rubbery in the way that it dries. It dries thick somehow. It dries almost like a plastic if you use a lot of it. And if you let it pool into recesses, and I've said this before, if you let it pool into some recesses, it will dry solid and create like a more solid than normal paint. I don't know if that's the nature of the contrast paint because they want it to flow a certain way, but that's one complaint that I do have about them in particular. But not everybody has the same thoughts. Okay. Getting there. One cool thing about this model that I found, you see that the gun is pointed up. It articulates. I didn't even know. I thought that it was just pointing straight. I didn't find that out till after I built it, and I was wondering because at a portion during the build, it says specifically don't glue right here, like where the gun meets the tank body. And I was like, why not? They just pressure fit? Okay, fine. But it's because you can move it up and down, which is pretty cool. Just a neat little detail that I thought was nice to include. Not necessary, but nice to include. Did my music stop? I don't know if I can hear it. No, it's still going. Okay. Okay. Trying my best to be careful not to flick paint on the body. Suppose I should be painting on camera. I find myself pulling it towards me instead of in the actual field of view. Sorry about that. You're here to watch the paint. Okay, what else can we do? While we're waiting for that to dry a little bit, we'll do the other tread. Again, being careful not to touch the body. Okay. By the way, I'm glad that everybody seemed to like the clips that I posted of last stream of how to do the mixing of the rust effect. It's super simple. I was surprised by just how many people needed help learning how to do that, because I thought that was a pretty simple technique, but apparently staining is a pretty sought after skill. But I hope that it was a good enough explanation to help everybody try it for the first time. That's the #1 goal. Okay. Do the sides of the treads here. We haven't even edge highlighted this side yet, so we have a little bit more room for error, because if we accidentally, just touch the side just a little bit, we might be able to fix that. But still try not to, if you can. It'll be much easier to fix the treads if when we come back, we have to touch the treads up because we accidentally touch them with the pink paint. Then trying to match the blend of the pink that we already did. Okay. Let's check on the... It is hot in here. Give me 1 second. I need to turn the fan on or something. Okay. Better. I don't know if you can hear that. Sorry. I just turned the AC on a little bit because it's boiling in here. Maybe it's the lights. Okay. Continue. I think we're about to finish the gun coats here. Just a little bit of pink left showing through. I don't mind if there's just a little bit of pink tint, just because it might trick the brain into thinking it's a reflection, which would also be okay. It's not the end of the world if that's the end thing. And plus, when we dry brush it, it's going to take some of that out anyway. So I'm not crazy worried about it. This part right here seems to, like, actually when I look at it outside of the camera, it looks darker than it is, but in the camera view, it looks way pinker. So we need to wait for that to dry a little bit first. Actually, I'm gonna speed it along. I'm gonna turn my air pump on. Again, sorry for the noise. But I'm going to cheat a little bit by using just the air from the airbrush. Because we only have so much time. And I don't want this to literally be the paint drying stream. Watch paint dry. That'd be less than ideal. Okay. Where did I just put my brush? Oh no. Well, now I feel like a dim-dum or something because I can't find the brush that I just had. Where the heck did I put it? Oh, here it is. Excuse the language. Dim-dum is offensive to some. Just kidding. Called my niece that the other day. Jokingly. Okay. Much better. Still pink. Wow. Forget what I said at the beginning. I was wrong. Usually, maybe it's because this is a large surface area. Probably. Sorry for the noise. But I'm just using the airbrush air to try and dry this a little faster. So we can get on to the next steps. I wish I had a quieter pump. Okay. Let's check the view. It's a little more. That looks good. Top. That looks good. Side. And I think that looks good. Okay. Woo! Good, that's done. So now we want a very light silver to dry brush over this. What should we pick? I kind of want a, I don't want it to be silver. I want it to be still a gray metal, but lighter than this. Maybe, definitely not another Vallejo. Not heavy metal. Let's try. I don't have too many. You know what? Here we go. Let's do Stormhost Silver. A good old classic Citadel silver. Let's see how that feels. Sorry, I need to mix it. I haven't used this in a long time. I don't know if you can hear my mixer. We've got all kinds of little tools. It's one of those little paint shakers. Specifically for these, because these get so, like, this is the bane of all miniature painters, I feel, is that specifically set at all these pots, they just suck. They just, I can't, they suck to mix, they suck to get paint out of, but some of the pigments are really the best around. They really are, like Retributor Armor. I can't argue with it too much. Okay, get that silver ready, and we're gonna do some dry brushing, and we'll use, here we go. Now, if you know if you guys remember, one of the keys to dry brushing is sponge again, but a damp sponge, just like a grocery store damp sponge. I'll show it to you in a second. This guy right here. As you can see, he's been used before. And then this is optional if you have one. You can use a like a dry brush palette. There's these things that you can either order or even sometimes print yourself if you have a 3D printer. But of course now I can't find it. I'm a professional, folks. No, we'll just use a piece of paper instead. But, so this is what we're trying to do. So here's my dry brush. We're going to load up with the Stormhost Silver. So it starts to obviously mark the paper. I'm going to take it off of the brush by spreading it around on the sponge. And the reason it's damp is dampness allows the paint to go on a little bit more smoothly. So if I put it on here, almost nothing comes out. I can see it on my end, or you can see that just a little bit of pigment coming out there. That's what you're looking for. So now, when I come back here, let's see. When I come back here, I can do the dry brushing motion, which in my case is going to be like this. And I'm just trying to hit the edges of the gun here. Just enough to catch and put a little bit of that pigment on. And it's going to take a couple of passes, a couple of layers to get kind of the tone that we're looking for. And when you start to run out, just add a little more paint to the brush, go back to the sponge, and we'll keep going. You're just sort of touching the top. Not trying to actually paint the thing. I mean, you're painting the thing, but you're doing the old dry brushing motion. And if you're worried about overbrushing, don't, because you can fix it really easily with the original color. So if you, like, say, go a little bit over, like maybe I did over here, you can come back and make it a little straighter by doing another layer of that original gunmetal that you did. Doing the barrels here. And this is just giving it a little bit of 3D texture by doing this. Because if you just leave it with the with that original coat, it's super flat. And especially on like a big model like this, you really want it to be as 3D as possible. Just to give everybody a little visual treat. Okay. So it's maybe hard to see. I wish I had a better quality camera. But you can see how it's darker in the middle, gets a little lighter on the sides now, instead of being all that one uniform color. Not, you know, the number one dry brushing job ever, but actually forgot to articulate the gun, and now we have an area where it didn't get paint. So let me fix that really quick. There we go. Good morning. Thanks for coming again. It's nighttime for me though. It's what is it? 6 o'clock? So maybe it's evening time. What time is it there? I think it's early. It's like 9 o'clock or something like that over there. Early-ish. Yes, it is still summer. It's still very hot. It's 91 degrees Fahrenheit here in LA right now. So it's pretty it's pretty warm. We're still having fires sometimes. But that's sort of the nature. That's sort of the nature of LA. We have a lot of dry areas, and especially in the valley. Is it winter over there? I actually don't know. Oh, cool clothes. I thought you meant cool as in stylish. I was like, this is not. I say this is not cool. But yes, it's very hot right now. Let's see. Okay, so let's keep going on the gun. We can do some chipping. We'll use the sponge to do some chipping on the gun because we want to still have it have the same character as the other panel. Thank you. I'm excited about it. We still have to do weathering here, and we're gonna paint some lights, and we're gonna use a different color for these back portion here. I think it's gonna be maybe just like a black metal instead of this silver reflective one. But I'm excited. It's going to look really good. And I'm thinking about what else to add to it because I want to make it really, like, it looks like it's pretty girly right now, but I want to make it more girly. I had some people on Twitter tell me to put like a Hello Kitty on here. So I was thinking I could probably paint that, but I need a good logo to put on the side because it looks pretty plain. But I want to put a girly logo. Somebody suggested Hello Kitty. Somebody suggested cinnamon roll. That one would be good. And then another one suggested like a delivery logo, like a mail logo. So that was pretty. Those are all interesting. So I'm thinking about it. Let's keep going. So we have most of that done. I want to add some chipping. So we're going to take our sponge tool like this. I'm going to get a new piece of sponge. Excuse me. Yeah, it moves. Yeah, it goes up and down. I didn't know that either until after I built it. You gotta have articulation. Thank you. I appreciate the shout out you gave on your stream the other day. Thank you very much. And the drawing was very cute. The little chibi drawing of me. That was pretty cute. So thank you so much. Why can't I get this? Sorry. I'm having trouble getting this to stick. There we go. Now, you know what? Actually, we'll do it this way. I'm going to show you how to use the sponge just like this. So we're going to... Yeah. I'm just going to put a little bit of paint on the side of it, just like this. And we're going to show you what that looks like. So it looks like this. It looks a little bit like powder. Let's get a little more. Like that. And when we apply that to here, we're going to get what looks kind of like battle marks a little bit. It's going to be an uneven edge highlight. So it looks like it's a little bit more used, and I think I like that a little bit better. So you can see that the edges are getting a little bit scuffed up. Like that. So a little more wear and tear. Perfect expression? Yeah. I hope so. I want it to look good. Okay. Something else that we can do is if we want to make the muzzle look like it's hot. So we want to do something like, so when metal heats up, it turns like a brown and a blue. So we need to put that on here. So one way to do that is we have some washes. Where's my washes? Do I have any? Oh, here we go. Sorry. I'm not very organized. So, here we go. Something like a dark blue tone. So something like this. So if you put this on the muzzle at the end, it's going to look like it got really warm. I know blue doesn't sound like a warm color, but it works here. And you're going to do something like a dark blue, and then a purple, and then like a sepia. And I'll show you what I mean. Actually, I said it in a little bit of the wrong order. It's it's sepia, blue, and then purple, something like that. But I will show you. So here's the sepia tone, and then we need a purple tone. So this is how we'll do it. So let me demonstrate a little bit. I'll do it on the paper first, so that if anybody's wondering what like the order looks like, this is what it'll look like. Here we go. Use another brush for this. So for something like this, so you would go sepia, and then blue, and then purple. So what happens to metal when it gets very hot, it will heat up to a red and then get cooled down. It will have a blue tint and then a purple tint. Actually, wait, is it purple or blue first? I'm not sure. It's called bluing for metal. But we'll give it a try. So we'll do it on one of the muzzles here. So we're giving it the look that it's been heavily used. And because of the use, it got extremely hot. Okay. So something like this. I'm sorry, I don't have autofocus on my camera. And then after the sepia, we do the purple. Because as it cools, it turns into a lesser red. And you may do a couple layers of this. Just to make it look more convincing. And then the final one is blue, because that's the coldest. That's what I remember. And then this is the blue. You just do it on the end. Do a little more. There we go. So this is a way to make it look a little bit more like it's been used a lot. Because it got fired so many times, it heated up, cooled down, and now it's permanently discolored, like that. So we'll do that for the other one. Maybe we'll do a little bit more sepia on this one. I hope this is entertaining. Let me add a little bit more of the sepia to this one. Doing a couple layers here while the other one dries. So it's sepia, purple, and then blue in that order. There we go. Now it looks really burnt. Much better. If I can, I kind of want to sculpt like actual firing, so it looks like a bullet is coming out. Maybe I'll make that out of green stuff for a Milliput. But that'll be towards the end. Okay. I'm going to actually use my airbrush to dry this out a little bit more. Sorry for the noise. Okay. There's the purple. Okay. Let's see, is there anything else we can do here? No. Now we'll start with the blue in the end. Okay. I think that's looking pretty good. So this is called bluing of metal. I think that gives a little bit more character. Let's do the other side. We'll do some more chipping. There we go. There we go. Nice and weathered. It's a gun that got shot at with other guns. So it's gonna have some battle damage. Okay, we'll do the same thing with the muzzle. I hope so. That's the goal. But I also need it to stay cute at the same time, so that it doesn't lose the lose the original the original purpose of it. So I need to add some. I'll probably add some more cute things to it later. I'm gonna have trouble because I can't draw. I can draw a little bit of like characters, but I want to draw like a good symbol here. So I'll give it my best shot. For, let's see, actually, maybe we can ask, or I can show, like, what, while that's drawing. Let's see. Do I have a pen? 1 second. I went to the secret other side of the office space. So we can do for here, maybe right here, something like that, just to make it cute. But we'll see. Maybe, I don't know. Dog? See if I can do a dog. That's it. That's my dog. He's got a big nose. I'm not good at drawing. Okay, let's fix the other side. Let's keep going. More purple. Here we go. Let that dry a little bit. Let's see, what else can we work on? It's doing better. Oh, I know what we can do. We can apply a wash. So something that I want to add to make, we're going to make this a little darker. We're going to do Grimdark Shadow. So this is just going to make it just a tiny bit darker and give it a little bit of a green. It's got a little bit of a green hue to it. Where's my big brush? I lost my big brush again. Okay, well, I'll just use this one then. So we're gonna go over the small areas, specifically the indented areas. I'm trying to avoid, if I can, the edges, so I can keep them shiny. But it's just darkening the middle to make the rest look a little bit brighter. And it will also dull the shine of the middle part. There we go. Just a little bit darker. We'll let that dry, go back to the other side. Now we can do the blue at the end. Ah. Dang. Add in the chat. There we go. I don't have a bot that can fix that yet. Okay. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Adding some of that shadow to the middle to give more contrast to the edges. And deepening the shadows a little bit. Okay. Now let's take a look at what we've done so far. I think it's looking pretty good. So this is the gun. We did some weathering, we did some chipping, we did the heated muzzles. I think that looks a lot better. Now what else? Next we'll do the front panel here. We'll do the front panel here so that we can get some more character on this one. But let's do really quick, just because we have the time. Let's do a little bit of edge highlighting right there. So the edge highlighting for that is Pink Potion. Just to make it look a little more 3D. And then after that, we'll be done for the night. Sorry for the short streams. Hopefully I can do them longer in the future. But I'm a little limited right now. There we are, gives it a little character. And it's one less thing that we have to do next time. There we go. Okay, so for today, I think that's going to be it. We're at about an hour right now. I have to go. Everyone's going to be home soon. So I thank you, Yoshada, for being in the chat again. I appreciate it. You were my one guest today, so I appreciate you for hanging out with me for at least a little while. Thanks again for the shout out. I guess I'll see you next stream. But thank you so much for everybody for watching. Here is the finish for today. We will do the front panel and the other side on Wednesday. Not tomorrow, but Wednesday. But thanks again, everybody. Have a good rest of your day, and see you next time.